Hello overseers, last episode we boosted resin production and unlocked tier 3 inventor ants. Now we need to automate them to generate a steady flow of research points for our next big tech upgrades. At the same time we're mining gold on the Polluted Island and taking a gamble with a random island scanner. Will the new island hold rare resources or just another challenge? Let's jump in and see. To kick things off this episode, I'm just going to fix some major supply chain issues first of all, but our focus is going to be automating the tier 3 inventor ants first, but at the moment we're having issues, as you can see, out of light bulbs and such. I've also done a few things between episodes. The first thing is I've upped my lava stage to 15 at the moment. I'm just manually maintaining that temporarily. I just want to keep it at stage 16. And you can see I've already screwed up some trails here. Wanted some more extra ants. We were struggling to maintain the ants on the other islands. They kept dying, so it was because I was maintaining stage 13. I really want to maintain sort of stage 16. I'm just sort of manually toggling it at the moment because we have too many of these orbs. I don't want to waste them all immediately. So we're just going to manually maintain that while we do things. So we've got way too many of these genes right now. So let me just do a quick thump. Now, our glass. We're having huge issues because we've run out of light bulbs. Things, and light bulbs are being made over here, and light bulbs need a ton of glass blocks, and we don't have a ton of glass blocks. But that's a very easy fix because we've got a billion digger ants here. So I'm gonna add some glass trails here, and then we might need a second catapult to bring things back. So let's see what that involves. We've almost got everything we need. We just need some wires. Wow, we're out of wires as well. Amazing. How are we out of wires? Wires is being made into once all the diodes are being made, we're actually running out of wires. So we need to start working on a lot of these supply chain issues. Alright, our second catapult is ready. So I'm going to redo this trail. I'm going to add some more glass mining so we can double up our glass production. Alright, set up a new trail over here to do glass. I think we're going to go with digger ants. This is the first time in the game we're actually using digger ants, surprisingly. But I mean, why not? Because as the old digger ants get old, they're going to go over here, become digger ants, and we've still got the same trail. I'm assuming the digger ants will give twice as much as the regular digger ants. So they'll die and then they'll go in here and get recycled. So we should still complete our iron scrap issue. Now we're having some issues on this side as well, so I just sent an ant temporarily to kickstart this process again, though it is finally giving me a good number of these ants, which is great. So we're getting pretty continuous acid production. Now we've got our 450 lava, which is what we wanted to get to, and that will get us this thing. Tier 3 complete, gold is created at a smelter, and then 450 ants, which will show me what I need to do next, which is this thing, microchips. We need 100 tier 3 inventor points. Okay, so that's going to be our next big challenge, which is what we're going to go for, and we also need 500 ants to get to the final bits. I think what we're going to do with when we need to reach ant population is we'll just naturally explore some islands. Maybe these islands will reveal some stuff that helps with gold. At the moment, the only thing that gets us gold is on these jungle islands, the ancient machinery. But you can see there's very little gold, and we have to mine out all this other crap in there. With our first digger ant completed, this trail should work, and then there's an ant over here with a catapult, a second catapult. So this is our main catapult for glass, and there's a secondary catapult for glass. That should hopefully get bulbs going. Yeah, nothing else is being really wasted or anything. I mean, every 10 minutes we waste an LED light bulb, but whatever, that doesn't really matter. Alright, let's start setting up for our tier 3 inventor ants. So there's a couple of issues we need to solve around. First of all, the tier 1 ant tower, they only need 10 energy. The tier 3 one needs 250 energy. So I think, and these ones require 50. So the energy orbs, these purple ones, they give the perfect amount, right? They give 50 each. So I think the tier 2 and 3 should be sort of lumped together into one. And then the tier 1 should be separated into a separate ant trail, and they can be managed in some other way. I don't even know how many more tier 1 points I need, honestly, but we will have to modify this section accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to have to probably redo a lot of these trails. So I'm going to have to figure that out. And our space, again, is not the best. I might have to move some stuff around a little bit. Let's start with this area first. I'm just going to get rid of it. And we're just going to just shift everything across, give ourselves some more room to work. I don't think this affects anything. If you're enjoying the video and you want to support DataEngineerPlays, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comments section. Where's all my inventor ants gone? They've all killed themselves, have they? Need more gene points too. That's alright. I'm sure all these systems will resolve themselves at some point. I just gotta make sure when I disturb one of these systems that I check that it's not broken completely. I'm gonna do most of this on pause mode as well. But this little bit of extra room should help. There's a hauling trail out this way, so off you go. And then you're gonna go this way. There's a hauling trail back. And then an old gate out this way. I believe that's basically the trail that we need. Now we've got a little bit of extra room over here, so let me just redo this elder gate. Gonna get rid of some of this stuff. I think this one's okay. So what we're gonna do is try to move these inventor towers up north, which can be done if I get rid of this trail here, and we'll figure out a new way to do that trail. Or we can get the inventor ants to sort of move up a little bit. Let's see where I can fit these two inventor towers. We basically want them out of the way a bit. I think up here is probably a good spot for them. So I'll put them as close over here as possible. So these are going to be my tier 1 inventor towers. Might move this to this side. Ooh. Gonna just fit in the bin on this side. Might do this cast gate somewhere else that makes sense. Now these still need to be fed, and because they're 10, what is the best way to feed 10? This is a little bit overkill because I believe that's... I know the other one is 20. These are 7. I believe we want to feed them tier 3 orbs because the green ones are only 3, right? So we probably want to feed them 2 of these. I know 2 of these is 14, so it's a little bit of a waste, but it should be okay. So we'll make a tiny little hauling trail. I mean, ultimately, it's probably better to feed these guys 10 of these, but that's also a lot. Otherwise, we feed them the green ones, which is 12 green ones, 12 points worth, 4 of them, which isn't horrible, I guess. But then again, I don't really have many green ones. They're all being turned into blue ones. Okay, since I have a surplus of blue ones, I guess we'll feed them the blue ones. I don't know, we'll have to have a look later at how this all works out, because we might need to have some more energy orbs over here. Let's start with the blue ones for now. Alright, so I've reinstalled the timer gate, so that way the old ants can go and become drones and keep our trails over here alive. I've also added a new divider over here and reduced this timer. These are producing our iron worker ants to become fancy ants, so we need more fancy ants if we're going to get another tier 3 dude coming out. So here we go, there's a guy coming. Now, we do have to wait for one of these guys to become a worker to get to there. I've also gotten the inventor ants to now come up over here first to drop off 2 ants into one of these 2 inventors first. Then it's going to come down and it's going to become a tier 2 inventor. So we're going to redo this trail a bit. We're going to compact it. So I'm just going to delete all these. So we might as well bring this like immediately this way. We'll bring it as close as possible. Something like that. Then you're going to go and become a tier 2 inventor. And then if not, then you go down, right? Isn't that what it does? It goes down this way and then into there. So we need to give him a path to go down this way. This is a nice clean path. I believe this is it. I believe it's just that. And then that still completes that previous path that we had earlier. Now we need the other part of this, which is the fancy ant. So the fancy ant is all the old stuff from here, and they need to go up into the inventor ant area. I'm just thinking whether I should move this somewhere else out of the way. We can, I suppose. There's no other thing for the fancy ant. So for example, if we were to put that here, maybe something like this, I'm thinking. We move these out of the way first so I can see a little bit better. I'm just trying to find the best orientation for this, which is probably facing it this way, honestly. Because then we can go give a trail this way. The fancy ant goes here, it makes inventor ant 2s. I mean, wherever the elder trail comes out for these is, I don't really care, right? Oh wait, I made a mistake with this thing. I don't want energy orb 4s, I want energy orb 3s. Now we probably want to reduce the amount of energy orb 4s being made over here so that we get a surplus of energy orb 3s. So currently we have 5 colliders making energy orb 3s. So if we only have 2 colliders making energy orb 4s, in theory, that should give us a surplus of 3s. Either that or we can use the 3s from here. That's probably a better idea, honestly. We'll use the 3s from here because our level 1 ants aren't really a priority anymore. So these are making the fancy ants. The fancy ant's going to go over here and merge with these guys. I might have to manually do that first one. I'm just going to send one in. Oh, maybe I'll move this now. We'll get rid of all of these. We can move this energy thing if we need the space. But essentially what we need to do is, let me move this thing as well and get these ants out of the way temporarily. But what we're trying to do is once these ants come out of their thing, I'm just going to give a little bit of room. They're going to come down and I can't see, but they're going to go into these 2 towers. And once they're happy in these 2 towers, we need to get them into the combiner, which is a tier 2 inventor ant and a heavy worker. So we can put that like here, for example. Or maybe like here. It's a little bit tight, but it makes sense. No, it doesn't, because it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. I need you to immediately go into the inventor tower. So the inventor tower is going to be over here for the level 3 ant. And we want to minimize travel distance for the inventor ant 3. Because as soon as you come out, I want you in that inventor tower. So it actually makes more sense doing something like this, maybe? Now we're only going to make room for 1 inventor ant 3. And I don't know if it needs to be expanded. If it does, then we'll deal with that one day. So I need you to go down here and then go in here. You can head on into this trail. You're an inventor ant, right? Yeah. All right, so that's that. Now that's half the equation. Now we need our heavy worker. Our heavy worker is just straight up made over here using transistors, and it's using a battery worker. So that's the other side of the equation. So we'll put that maybe like here. So every so often we need a battery worker, and we can control how often we want this. So every 8 minutes, because we only have 1, right? And they have like an 8-minute lifespan. The battery worker comes out of one of these, that one. So we need a gate over here. And we needed to get it up there. So we can loop it around the back, or we can try to go around the front. Oh, either way, this trail is going to get messy. Might take it out of the end of the battery worker. That way there's always going to be one every 8 minutes instead of having to wait. Not that it really matters, but every little bit of optimization helps, right? So you're going to be a battery worker, and then like off you go. Why did 2 go? And once you're done being a battery worker, we want you to go up into here. Now we need an actual feeding trail for this. So we're going to get a hauling trail that goes something like this. We'll even give you a little bit of a light. That'll actually make the trail faster, even though it's a bigger trail. Now you can go on here. I want you to test the trail to become an actual ant. So yeah, we haven't done the fancy ant part. So we need an elder trail that goes into the fancy ant area. Let me just draw the elder trail part because we know where they're going to come from. So we can still do our priority little thing over here. So it'll take from our secondary storage first. We can move this system a little bit out of the way now. Because we don't want to delete these pods, that's why we're using a storage pod for it. It's going to be a little bit different because we don't care about these anymore. I'm going to just get you to drop your thing. I'm going to change this to use pod 5s. And then we're going to use pod 5s here as well, I guess. So the pod 5s we're going to use are all going to come out of here. I know there's not many, but it should be enough. This ant knows to be smart about it and not use, basically not drop one in until it gets to 50. It should actually become more efficient technically. All right, so we're going to get 1 ant back there. We're going to get 1 ant on an elder trail out of here. So I'll probably get you to drop off all your stuff right before you get in there. So we'll get our hauling trail in like this. And And then we'll get an elder trail in like that. And then we need the elder trail into here. I think the clearest path there is probably through here. Nope. Probably through here. These are not the best paths. Like that. So then if we old gate something out of here, like right before here, it doesn't really matter because they're always going to be carrying something there. And these guys probably can just dump their energy orb. I don't really care because it's an energy orb 3, right? So I'm going to send you off on the elder trail to test if it works. And I'm going to old gate out of here as well. So something like this. I can't get through here, can I? I'm going to have to borrow part of this trail. Oh, this is disgusting. And then into here. And then somewhere along the way, you're going to have to drop your energy orb 3s. I'm going to just trash this one just for simplicity. I don't care, every now and then. Like, how often does an ant here die? Not very often. So here comes a inventor ant. Why did it skip this? No, it didn't skip this. All right, here we go. Let's see if this system works now. So this one's going to go over here, become a fancy ant. And while we're waiting for this system, I'm going to check on my other ones. So this trail is still alive, fantastic. Everything's getting slung back. Maybe this trail has started working now. I can see there's a bunch of ants here, so we're all happy here. Over here, we've got a bunch of excess ants, fantastic. Have we got our first digger ant yet? Look at our massive digger ant. It's digging this thing, which is good. And we've got our second digger ant now. There's 800 of these getting mined out. They're going to over here. And then hopefully this guy will sling something. Have we assigned the target? Yes. Yep, I can see glass is being slung back now. Fantastic. So we should be all good on that front. How's our digger ants over here going? I don't feel like we have many, but that's just going to take some time to resaturate. We're maintaining stage 15, which is good. I'm going to start dropping it some extra orbs because we want it to maintain maybe stage 16 or something like that. Let's have a look at this thing. All right, this guy's not happy. You've got an energy orb. Fair enough. All right, here we go. Here's our fancy ant. I need to manually put you into here first because we've mixed up these two trails basically. Oh man, this is super complicated. But when this comes out, now we've got our battery worker. Oh, our battery worker's in there. Yeah, great. So basically this guy's going to come through here and here. And as long as these ants don't, oh man, we might lose our first one because that takes 30 seconds. All right, so the first one's going to go into here to make 2s. And then we're going to make 3s. Now, I need an ant over here working this trail. Might borrow you. All right, we've got an ant working this trail. Great. We've got another fancy ant ready to go. Fantastic. All right, check it out. So this guy, I'm just going to get him, like, so normally he's going to go into this tower, but because I just want to get him to become an ant 3 for now, we're just going to get him to skip and go to this trail instead. We know it'll work, right? In theory. We'll have to let it run and test it, but we're letting a lot of stuff run in testing at the moment, so it's all good. It looks like we've got enough glass now. Are we glass positive? Yeah, we're glass positive. I'm seeing an excess of glass, which means we should be light bulb positive very soon. Now, the other thing is we're not copper wire positive. Oh, we are. We're not running out of them. It's just like barely sustaining. Casing is barely, everything's barely sustaining anymore. We do need to amp our production at some point, I believe. Now, we've run out of transistors. So that's the other thing that we need to sort out, sort of automate. Because every 8 minutes, we're going to need one of these transistors. Why is there so many of these? All right, every 8 seconds, didn't I? All right, we're all good on this front. I know everything's going to take a while to re-even back out because I've run out of everything. All right, here we go. Here's our level 2 ant. It's going to go in there and then boom, instantly it's going to get to like 50, isn't it? Because this one orb is just going to drop it straight to 50. There we go. It's straight on to 50. Reach a population of 500. Oh, didn't we have a milestone for 500? We should click this while we have 500. We might not have 500 again. This thing takes 500 tier 3 points. All right, so maybe one day we're going to need to drastically increase our tier 3 research points because it seems like everything going forward is all tier 3 research points. But we've got gold ready to go, gold powder, and the microchip, which is 100, which is what we're trying to unlock, and then we get the sentinel ant. But we're approaching the end game, definitely, guys. All right. What is your problem? You're holding a diode of all things in the world. Why are you holding a diode? That makes no sense. I think you just picked one up off the ground somewhere, maybe? What? Where did you come from? Must have picked one up off the ground along here somewhere, I think. But there you go. See, it instantly went up to that. And the tier 3 inventor just dropped. Why does it have 60? Is it a 60? Oh, God, I'm an idiot. I'm dispensing the wrong thing. We want you to dispense this. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit of a waste, but that's fine. Otherwise, it would take forever for this thing to get to 250, right? If you're feeding it whatever these ludicrous orbs are. So yeah, I wasted a little bit of tier 4 orbs, but whatever. There we go. Now you have 7 minutes to generate points. Hope it generates a lot. Let's see how many 7 minutes generates, and then we can figure out how many of these we need. We might need to like just double up on these, because this gives a decent amount of tier 2 points, right? Like we've got like 300. Right, so all our systems are now working fine. Let's just check on this. We're running out of ants here again for some reason. Let's just double check with, whoa, stage 20. Okay, that's a little bit too crazy. Let's not eat all the orbs. Let this run for like half a second, then it just goes insane, right? And also I'm running out of battery workers. Oh man, I'm making this too fast. How do I slow this process down a little bit? The next step is the transistors. Now, our transistors are currently being stalled by whatever this process is. Now, before I didn't have enough acid. Oh, we're producing, we still don't really have enough acid. Oh, we're producing quite a lot of this silicate. So what's our blocker at the moment? Our silicate is being transported back and it's being turned into these. Okay, that's fine. So we are making transistors, right? Something's gone amiss over here with my resistors. There we go. There's our wafer. Now, wafer's waiting for one more crystal. Okay, it is happening. It's just very, very slow, which is fine because we only need one every 8 minutes for now. And we can look at expanding into this process in a little bit. I think expanding into this process is basically going to involve somehow amping up our acid production. At the moment, what is stopping our acid production? Just these ants are very, very, very slow. We either need more of these ants or we just need to get them to go a little bit faster. But it's doing its job. It's like dropping off its mold and then they produce an acid. All right, I'm pretty okay with most of these processes. So we're just waiting for these points basically. It's going to observe some of our processes for a little bit because they're all new and I want to make sure they're all automated and properly working. There's one of our inventor ant 2s dead. And here comes a new inventor ant 2. Very good. What's happening here? No transistors. Great. I'm not seeing too many exclamation points. So we've got genes going. I don't really care about these old genes as much anymore because it doesn't seem like we need old gene points for anything. Have we not unlocked anything yet? We haven't got the main trail, which is just... they got rid of the gene point requirement for this. I feel like the patch got rid of the gene point requirement for a lot of early stuff. This is just that. I don't want to do that right now. We can use a gene point and that to reveal the random island. Let's check that because we're going to need gold soon, right? Definitely going to need gold for these microchips. So let's see what this random island scanner is. A scanner that can reveal a new island on the map. Who knows what kind of island you might find. Is it really just like literally a random island? Can it be built anywhere? It has to be built on toxic wasteland. Sure, let's get some materials transported over then. Doesn't matter where we put this, we'll just put it somewhere out of the way. Oh, just used up all my transistors. We need 50 copper wires and 50 energy pod 5s. Oh, that's a lot of energy pod 5s. That's going to be all my energy pod 5s. All right, let's get those 50 transported over first then. Off you go. I will need another one of these. Oh, we got way too many of these digger ants. Look at this. But this one's getting old, so it's going to go away. I've got just the right amount. Mathematically, it should make sense. Let's see if I can weave a stockpile in here somewhere. Let's get that assigned over here. What did you just pick up? Alright, we'll get you doing energy pod 5s. You accept energy pod 5s. And while you're doing that, I think I need more copper wire. Now, copper wire is a 1-to-1 process, so this should be reasonably easy to modify. Hopefully I can squeeze it in back here somewhere. I should be able to squeeze this in something like this. So let's get a second workshop going. And then this is just your standard trail. Something like this. Divider from here into each of these. Then hauling back over to this side. Like that. Then we counter gate in. Like that. And then we old gate out. After you drop your stuff off. Something like that. Set that to 2. And then we should get a second ant on this trail at some point. We've got plenty of ants to work with on this trail, so we're good. These guys are working as quick as they can. Alright, what's happening over here? It doesn't like whatever you're holding. I still don't know where you're getting your stuff from, honestly. Keeps picking up scrap iron from somewhere. I don't like this trail only having one ant on it. It's very prone to just die. But I think we're okay. Definitely very prone to die, especially because I added an extra thing here. We might just need another... Is it another spawner we need? Let's have a look at this thing. No, we do have this. Oh, I think we just might have too many ants on this trail. We're gonna just keep a close eye on it. So we've got 32 of these points now. It's still a bit slow. No, we're just gonna wait for this thing to get its 50 orbs. Okay. Energy pod 4. Have I been transporting the wrong thing? I have, haven't I? Oh my god. How do I resolve this issue? I'm an idiot. Been transporting my valuable energy pod 5s. Alright, fix that up. Energy pod 4s is what we need. There we go. Now the other thing I want to see if these energy pod 5s are keeping up, which they seem like they are. We've got positive amounts of energy orb 5s. Here's an issue. We don't have enough ants over here. Oh, I didn't connect one of the... I didn't connect the input trail. Alright, that's fine. Would probably be smart to give an input trail for this. That's fine. Luckily it wasn't during one of these guys' lifespans. But yeah, it seems like every 20 it's okay. So we might, if we want to get this a little bit faster, we might need to do some stuff, but that's okay. We've got some time to kill anyway while we set up the new island. I'm going to temporarily disable the lava booster over here because I just feel like I'm wasting all my batteries now because we don't, first of all, need that many more gene points. Oh, we probably do, but I feel like it's being produced too quickly, as you can see by all my excess ants over here. So we might just chill for a bit on that one. Now, tier 3 guy's about to die, so our timing's pretty good at the moment because here comes another tier 2 ant, and hopefully that will... Oh, nope, that one's probably going to go there. So we need this a little bit faster, maybe? We'll let it run, because I don't want too many of these and then wasting all these guys. That would be the worst thing ever. But yes, each one generates about 20, so we have 40 at the moment. Let's see how catapult flinging this random island scanner's going. 35, okay. It's not dead, it's just slow. But that's okay, we're waiting for copper wire anyway, because we're running out of copper wire. It's been about 15 minutes. We have some various problems on our island just with undersupply. I don't know if I want to fix them. So for example, over here, where we're making our transistors, obviously this path doesn't work because our wafers are generally always empty. And over on this side of the world, we have the same issue with acid. So these guys aren't really producing batteries because they're always got a copper in hand. So we might need to do some workarounds because we can't always assume acid exists because it doesn't. Either we have to increase our acid production or do something or other with that. But that's okay. We've got everything that we need now. Let's just do the scan first and then we can see maybe on another island there'll be like some better methods of doing stuff. There's our 4th island. Done. Fantastic. What is on this 4th island? It's another toxic mold island. That doesn't help us in any way, shape or form. Although this one does contain a little bit of gold. Does this one have gold? Yeah, it does. So there is some gold on this island, but it's in like toxic mold Deathville. But that's fine. We can get a hazmat ant on that. We can probably just manually mine out some gold, right? I didn't realize the toxic mold island actually just had gold on it. So these random islands we're saying basically they're not helpful. What is this thing? This is done with mining. That's a scrap pile for hauling. Interesting. Okay. So there's scrap piles for hauling and then there's some that need to be mined. This is so awkward because there's like so little gold and they all need to be mined. Unless I'm missing something with a massive pile of gold somewhere. Either that or we probably don't need that much gold to finish the game. Let's just get this 23 scrap pile first because we're able to. So it's just a hauling trail, right? And it looks like we're definitely going to need a hazmat ant on this. I mean, we've got so much toxic mold, I don't really care anymore. I'm guessing scrap gold will never respawn. So like this island pretty much is the same. It's another toxic waste island, but it's got some gold on there that we're gonna have to figure out how to mine it out. Oh mama. That's gonna involve clearing some sort of path to it and then getting digger ants to mine it out. I mean, we can just do that on this side of the island. That's kind of fine. Because there's like only 33, I feel like a couple of digger ants can just get this out. Which means also if we need more gold, this island is probably the best bet with all the ancient machinery. So we probably want to set up some sort of digging there. Let's just, for this episode, get the gold, get our 100 points, which shouldn't take too much longer. I've just manually doubled up the tier 3 ants for now. Hey, where'd my tier 3 ant go? It's crawling up there now. Oh, I'm running out of energy. Okay, so this is not fast enough. I need to borrow some energy from here before my tier 3 ant dies. This is definitely fast enough. We've got like more than enough for this. Just gotta make sure I've got enough lava. So I'm trying to maintain stage 16. There we go. All right, cool. So I've got a ant over here. That's a level 3 ant. And this guy also is a level 3 ant, I think. I can't tell. But I've got 70 now, so I'm pretty close. We just need like one more. So we do need one more transistor, but obviously I don't want to do it right now. Or do I want to do it right now? I can manually put in a tower. No, we'll just wait. We'll be patient. All right, when I have 100 points, I'll come back and talk about it. I'm going to start transporting the gold over as well. So this hazmat ant has finished collecting all this gold. I'm just going to manually get him to collect all the bits that we can. And then we'll see if that's like enough gold to do anything with, really. There's one gold pile here, and that's it. That's like 50 gold. The rest of this is all done by mining, so we might have to like get rid of some of the stuff around here, like the toxic mold. We'll start with like this one, I guess. We've got plenty of hazmat ants now. Look at them all go. All these hazmat ants, yet still not enough to collect the acid. So I've got a bunch of gold here. We need a smelter. I don't have enough ants on this trail to do anything, so I might just bring the gold scrap back home. Now we can just get them to carry it because they're barely carrying anything. Should we just let the batteries stockpile for a little bit? I'm doing a bunch of stuff manually just to test where we actually need to go to understand the automation a little bit better. But we'll get them to carry the gold. There you go. And then we'll just move the battery stock. Oh, we're out of batteries, so we're not going to be able to make any more gene points. So all of these ants are just going to die, I guess. But we're getting less of these ants, so it should be fine. But we don't need gene points at the moment, so that's fine. But for this episode, let's just bring the gold home. And then let's just start smelting some of the gold in anticipation that we're about to need it. So I'm going to put a smelting trail somewhere. Doesn't really matter where, because they're not going to be working for very long anyway. But let's just see what that gold, maybe like the gold smelting will take forever. Smelt gold. It is still 1-to-1, which is thankful. Gonna send ants out this way to be in that trail. And we'll just chuck a stockpile over here. I'm not even gonna bother old gating out of here because our genes are not an issue anymore. Accepts gold bar. There we go. So we're smelting our very first gold now, even though it's a temporary setup. So we'll work out a proper setup for this later. But we're almost at 100 points, so when we're at 100 points, we'll unlock the microchip. We'll try to make a microchip. We'll try to make a sentinel ant. I'm sure the sentinel ant's going to need like a bunch more inventor points and gene points and whatnot. So hopefully we'll have enough batteries to get us there. We're missing one battery worker. Is one battery worker coming? We've got one left. I'm guessing it'll need like 10 gene point 2s. Usually they need about 10 gene point 2s. How's my workers over here? What happened over here? Did I cut a trail? Because there's like no workers going. Enter after 1 minute. Why? Ah, I think I need to redo this timer gate. This one is responsible for digging out the remainder of the crap on this island. Okay, one every minute. Let's go. Send some to get them kick-started. Oh, we're at 91. Almost there. These guys are generating points like crazy. We've got another tier 3 coming. Oh no. Do I have a spare slot? Yeah, I do. So we're stopping the tier 2 points. Why are all my tier 2 workers stopped? Was this just bad timing? going to temporarily pause this. It's going to put this guy on the tower because I don't want my tier 3 to die. They're super valuable. Tier 2s can die off if need be. There you go. He's on the tower. I don't know what I want to do with this tier 2. You can just wait there, I guess. I guess I'm just making tier 3s for now. Either that or I can just temporarily put up another tower. Yeah, I couldn't do the tower because I didn't have enough copper. I've got to stop transporting copper over. I think it's already stopped. Yeah. I just temporarily put up another tower because you just know we're going to need these tier 2 stuff very soon anyway. It's going to move some stuff around manually. Gonna move that in there, and then maybe we can just shove that in there. That seems to just work. And I can just manually shove an ant in there for now. Just get some tier 2 points going, you know? Can't be all tier 3. I think this guy is still tier 2 because his ball looks smaller. Much, much smaller. These guys are tier 3. They're definitely tier 3. Anyway, we've almost got 100 points. I don't know why the size of their ball is like slightly different on all of them. I know they're all tier 3 because I put them there. But here's our tier 2 one. I was just playing around with this timer because this is how many ants become tier 2 and tier 3, and it was going a little bit too fast for my liking. But we've got our 100 points, so we can go ahead and unlock the microchip. And now we're just one step away from unlocking the sentinel ant. There we go, the sentinel ant. Let's see what we need to unlock. 500. Alright, well that's just going to take forever, right? But we can unlock other stuff while we're waiting. That's like 300 of these, and 10 of these things I've never seen before. The largest beacon lighting up a wide area consumes a lot of energy to speed up ants. Okay, so beacon towers, that's pretty cool. So I can't even do this, but we can at least figure out how to make a microchip, and that's made at a factory. This is our second factory recipe. I feel like the factory is really underutilized in this game. So let's have a look. Should have everything we need to build a factory at least. No, we don't. We've run out of diodes, out of all things. Okay. That shouldn't take too long. How's our gold smelting going? We've got a few gold bars. Fantastic. I suppose once we unlock the sentinel ant, it's going to teach us how to make yet another drone, another gene. But I think looking at these numbers, we basically just need to automate gene point 3 a lot harder. In fact, nothing else is really taking up gene point 2 and 1. I don't want to say that and then need it. Grand scale construction. Build 5 lighthouses on 5 islands. And then we get another island scanner. So we can just keep revealing random islands. I don't see how that's helpful to us. Ancient island scanner. Ah, that might be the thing that we need. 10 gene points. The puffer is a massive structure to release a blend of aromas, creating giant clouds of pheromones. Completing will significantly boost the number of drones attracted by your colony. Why does this help me? I don't understand. Ancient island scanner. Okay, maybe that's what we should be going for. If we get our 10 gene points, then we need 1,000 of each. Okay, so we still need that for this puffer. And then we can get the ancient island, which might have all the gold that we need. That is the last non-random island. Oh, damn, I shouldn't have put the random island here. Because then putting the random island here basically stops my ancient island from being there, right? Now my ancient island's probably going to be somewhere really random. But yeah, 1,000 of these points is going to take a really, really long time. But I suppose we'll just let the game run. So over here, we've finished our factory and it's making our thing. It's microchip. We need to make a capacitor and a transistor. What the heck is a capacitor? I don't even see capacitor here. Ah, here, capacitor. So it only needs 50. We definitely need to make that, and it's made at a facility. So let's put down a facility. And then you can make capacitor. It's made out of resistors and batteries. All right, so this basically informs the direction we need to go. We need to fix our acid trails really hard. We need to do better than this. Like this whole dispenser thing, I'm not liking it. I feel like we can get a lot less hazmat ants if we just build these acid presses like the way they currently are at the moment. However, if we just directly take the acid from the acid press itself into the process that we want, like say we get, well, now that we need more batteries, probably like 2 batteries and 2 of these guys going, I think directly off the back of these 4 acid presses, and then all our hazmat ants just transport mold rubber in the middle, and then I think that will definitely get us better, like more where we want to get to, rather than trying to get this transported into the vat, just because the layout of the vat is like really terrible. Look how long these terrible hazmat ants need to run around to do that. But that's something that we're going to have to do next episode. We've got a lot of things to do next episode. Basically, we need to do our gene points. We need to do everything. So we know this is not good at the moment. We have no battery workers, so all of this process is terrible. I'm going to slow down the creation of these ants for a while, probably just up to like 90 seconds, because maybe like 120 seconds, just because we have no batteries at the moment. When we do have batteries, we can definitely get them to do better. Our tier 1 points are okay, but we still need a few, and then eventually we should be able to decommission the tier 1 points at some point. Once we unlock enough tech, I guess. What does the lighthouse unlock? Another random island. I don't really care about these random islands. Pod worker 6. Alright, energy pod 6 is probably important at some point. Energy collision 3. Produce 50 energy pod 5s. Okay, so that gets you energy pod 6. And then we've got a bunch of other ants. The crown jewel of your workforce. These ants will fulfill their task exceptionally efficiently. Their powerful snout enables to carry out mining extractions with ease. So here's a tier 3 stuff. That probably lets us do tier 3 things. That's cool. I don't know what this is. This must be after you get the sentinel ant, and there's a whole new gene required. Now, do we need gene point 1s? That's the other question that I don't know. Because if we don't need gene point 1s, we can just redo our whole base and only do, like, get rid of all this and just have like level 2 and level 3 workers. I have no idea, honestly. There's a lot of stuff that we need to test and do, but we'll figure it all out next episode. For now, we'll leave it here. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to leave a like and sub, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.